A while back, when I was just getting started in IT, I was having so much trouble trying to land a job, even to the point to where I couldn't even land an interview. I would look through Indeed, I'd look through LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, even Craigslist, and not even people on Craigslist wanted me, right? So it was a really tough part of my life. I had some work experience, but nothing really relevant to IT, so I couldn't really put it on my resume. And I reached the point in my life to where I had to consider possibly going to school to get my information systems degree, or maybe switching paths. But honestly, I love technology and had a passion for it, so I knew that that wasn't an option. As I was looking through job postings, I noticed a pretty cool trend. Most of the job postings for entry-level IT positions didn't really require a college degree. Most of them just wanted someone with a willingness to learn technology and have that passion, and some basic knowledge about how computers work and how networks work. One thing that I really liked was that they paid well. They paid better than most entry-level jobs, even jobs with a degree. That is one thing that's really attracted me to the field of technology. I also noticed that a lot of job postings I was afraid to apply to because they would use big words that I didn't fully understand, or programs that I had never been exposed to. Things like Active Directory, DNS, group policy, PowerShell, Linux. All those were huge unknowns for me, and I was afraid that if I applied to that position and they asked me about it, then I wouldn't really be able to respond and I'd look like a fool. The worst part about it was no one in my circle of friends or just around me was in IT, so I could never really rely on anybody to ask them simple questions. So the goal for this video is to help you land a job in IT. And before you do that, you need to have some foundational knowledge about how networks work and how computers work. And that's going to be crucial. That's super essential, because that's going to help you troubleshoot down the line, and it's going to help you be very comfortable talking about computers and networks when you get interviewed. So how do you get those skills? How do you build that knowledge? Well, one thing that a lot of people like to do is go for certifications. This could be the Network Plus or the CompTIA A+, because those give a very good foundational knowledge on both of those things, how computers work and how networks work. You don't have to have both of them, but the fact that you're actually trying and studying for them is going to put you miles ahead of everybody else. For my second tip, I'm going to recommend that you go through job postings and look for keywords that sort of scare you. So it could be words or jargon that people in IT use that you don't fully understand yet. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you ever do get interviewed, you want to be comfortable to speak on those words that come up. For example, I mentioned things like Active Directory or PowerShell or DHCP. If that all sounds foreign to you, that's okay. Go through job postings and see what words sound foreign. And by doing this, you'll no longer be scared of them, but in case they ever come up in an interview, you'll be able to speak to them comfortably. For tip number 3, I would highly recommend you figure out who in your social circle is already in IT. Maybe that's a friend of a friend, maybe that's a family friend, maybe that's an uncle, I don't know. Figure it out. Figure out who in your social circle is currently doing IT, doing the work that you want to do, and ask them questions. The more connected you are with people, the more chances you're going to get to land a job in IT. And I still get calls from people that I talked to way back when I first started that I've never worked with before, but they know that I'm in IT, and they reach out to me and say, hey, are you looking for a job? I have this position opening up. So it definitely works, and it's definitely key to expand your social circle. For tip number 4, I'm gonna recommend you fix up your resume and you write down the things that you've been working on. So if you're expanding your foundational knowledge of IT by going after a certification, well, put that certification on your resume and put the date that you're gonna take that certification on. Or you can put in progress and then you can put the date. When you are applying and somebody looks at your resume, well, they'll say, oh, this guy's serious. This person's serious because they're actually scheduled to take the test on this date, right? And even if, let's say, you don't pass it, the amount of knowledge that you're gonna learn for studying and getting down in the trenches and learning the best you can, that's gonna grow so much than if you absolutely did nothing. So those are my tips for you guys. I hope they're helpful. I'm gonna leave you with one final thing, and that is the job that you don't apply for is the one that you will surely not get.